Welcome to this new series on Mathematica for architects. It will be on texts and it will be on machine intelligence. Step by step we will be able to build up huge amount of text towards a library, and then in a kind of private Google we can access this library, and this will enhance our writing capabilities. It's more about a shift in your reception of what text and writing is. It's not this much about the technology itself. So it's an intellectual game about what writing is about. And to make it a serious speculation of future writing, I underlay it with a functionality driven by Mathematica. What is Mathematica and why Mathematica? So if you Google it, Introduction Wolfram Language, Stephen Wolfram is the author of Mathematica, you get a huge amount and a wide spectrum of different tutorials and so on. My talk is complementary to that. So I'm using Mathematica 11.2, and what you see is a so-called notebook, and this is, in the first step, it's a text editor. So different to a text editor is that you can write you can write. Different is, this is what you see here, is these are so-called cells. So it's a paragraph in writing or a header in writing and so on. You there. So what you see here, whenever you start a new line, you get a new cell, and these cells are objects and they have a certain style. So they are tagged. So you can ask for them by control here, and you see here tile, and this is a text. There's a lot of others, and you will see that we can define our own, and it's substantial that you see that these styles, known in Word and Pages, for example, as well, everywhere, they are fundamental. They give a certain color to this sequence of characters in your writing. So, but now let's go. We can go in here, and we can either go for a certain selection of text. Then, as you expect, you can say this should be bigger, this should be bold, as you expect. This should have the color red. No problem here. So now we can introduce a new text element here. That's it. Or we can go here and say we want to have another style. So for example, we can say we want to have a chapter, which means we get another style. This is the first chapter. So what we see here now here on the right side with the cells is we got hierarchies of cells. So we have style here. This is our chapter. We can change it, for example, to subchapter, or we can change it to title. We can go to text. So, and here is, this is interesting. So we have, depending on the style, different rules how these hierarchies work automatically. So these are in one line. If you want to get them a group, go here and say group cells, and then you get these things. If you have a group cell, you can double-click here to open, double-click here, and you open. So that's the system. here, if we go to style, there's a chapter, you see we automatically got a group. If we copy this and go here, then we have the second chapter, and we copied all the cells. We can close that. If we copy just the head, then we have the third chapter, and we didn't copy it. So, and here you see now chapter with content, chapter with content, chapter without content yet. Now, first content. So, whatever. So, if you want to put that into a book, get here and say you want title. So you see different ways how to specify that. Go for the title, first book, and you see that this is hierarchized. It's a hierarchy. Command, open all subgroups. So this is very straightforward. So we have different styles. We will see how to adjust them in detail. And the machine is doing whatever we say in a certain structure. This is what a text editor does. No surprise, it simply works. You can print it, you can make slides of it, you can put it to internet as HTML, web pages, whatever you expect. All this, thank you. This makes no difference to what we know and what we expect. Now, say this is the editor. There's a circular thing, and this is the evaluator. And the simplest way is we write what we get in here is a language input. Instead of a text, we say language input. This is the default. We say 2 plus 2, and then shift return, and we get the evaluation of it. So we wrote something as a program, and it is evaluated and comes back. So it's not straight, it's circular. And the circular is always irrational. It's out of reach. The linear is always under control. So what we see here is it's of style input. This is of style output. And this is a group. So I can take it like that. It's working like the other stuff. So this is the difference. This is what we are interested in. Writing and coding in the same environment. So which means we cannot only write prescriptions and say exactly what we want to have. We simply code in the same environment, and this is getting circular. By that we can do anything. So to give you a small taste of that, say plot, for example here, then we say sinus of x, x o pi, make it 2 pi, so very simple. So this is a piece of text, evaluate that, and you get this graphics. And this graphic is really a graphic, so we can go here and change it, or we can go in here and change it. We can copy and paste elements of that. We can go here for the axis. Okay, not really. Okay, that's here. Next, for example, we can go for pictures. Let's take this image here. So we take this image, we add this image, and then we get an overlay. We can take that and divide it by 2. Yeah? Or we can ask for a Wikipedia search on Putin. These are all the Putin. And in human song on Putin, so Wikipedia data on this Wikipedia song, and here we have it. We go for geo. We can go for geographics of Zurich. We go for, take the freeform input, or here alpha query, weather of last week. Zurich. Yep. I think you get it. Got it. So what we have with conventional programs, with CAD programs, is an editor which is straight, which makes exactly what you say, following a given structure of a certain program. With a programming language, you go for the evaluation, you write all these structures, people to follow you. Here it's one. So I have text and code the same. And this is the interesting thing we want to focus on and we want to learn to work with. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and see you in the next tutorial.